Well, of course, it's the 50th running, as we keep telling you, of this great race, and the 50th commentary for Peter O'Sullivan. And Jim McGrath's been looking through the Peter O'Sullivan Grand National Scrapbook.
You act as, I feel, as a lens, a camera lens, really, and the action passes through this lens, and your job is to print each frame.
It's Minnie Homer now from Just So. Minnie Homer was Just So, putting in a tremendous challenge towards the near side. Minnie Homer and Just So as they race towards the line. Minnie Homer is going to win the national from Just So. Minnie Homer is running Just So.
Let's see what we've got here. That'll bring back happy memories. The old
Merriman, yes.
Jim Bailey, yeah. A good bookmaker, always get on.
Yeah, good man he was. Yeah, it was a good man. It was the first TV broadcast, so of course it was worrying. You know, there were lots of cameras there, but behind the scenes, I mean, things kept going wrong, and you know, one was in a bit of a panic about it all. But anyway, Merriman won. I'd tipped him in the Express, for which I wrote for 35 years, and I'd won a grand, which was no small amount in those days. And
what would that be like now, a grand in 1960?
Well, I don't know. I've never worked that sort of thing out, quite honestly, Jim. But it was most acceptable, I can tell you. But I mean, the greatest joy really was calling him home and calling the victorious partnership down, flanked by the two police horses in the traditional manner, you know, to the winner's circle. So totally overjoyed. It was that was lovely. It was very special. Not, I suppose, as special emotionally as calling Red Rum in 1977 when he won his third national, when he raced into the history books.
And he's coming up to the line to win it like a fresh horse in great style. It's hats off and a tremendous reception. You've never heard one like it at Liverpool. Red Rum wins the national.
I've always found it difficult not to talk quite rapidly, certainly towards the end of a race, because, as you know, things happen fast, and to keep pace with it is not easy. I think in the early days I was said to become rather incoherent, but it always used to be a matter of competition between the sound effects engineer and the commentator. He wanted to assert his presence by bringing up the roars of the crowd, and you obviously wanted to translate what you thought was the correct action into words, racing to the line. So you were both competing with each other, as it were.
I'll give you a test here. Davy Ladd's colours.
Who?
Davy Ladd.
Davy Ladd. I'll tell you what, there's some brown in that.
Yes.
He won the Gold Cup. Mick O'Toole trained.
Yeah.
Some brown and white.
Brown and cream check, brown sleeves and cap.
Well, there you are, brown and white. That's not bad, is it?
Right, one more here. Right?
77, it's only 20 years ago. From about 1962, I started to do charts, and I got little stickers and stamped the outline of a rider and put them on a board. I mean, that's last year's, and as you know, it's much easier to learn a colour than to unlearn it. And you've got to unlearn it and associate a different pattern with a horse, and this can be very daunting.
The night before a national, I've read that you became incredibly nervous and couldn't sleep and all the rest. I've noticed that you're a man that we never see on the eve of a national. You don't stay with the other commentators. You are a loner, and quite often seen dining alone with your colours and a glass of red and settling back to learn them in a restaurant.
Yes, yes. I like to be absolutely single-mindedly focused. Very, very boring, very unsociable, but you know, that's the way I've done it for a long time, and I hesitate to depart from it.
You still get as nervous as you did in the early days?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
What's the reason for that? What is it?
General apprehension, Jim, you know, this is it's such a big occasion, the National. There are so many reasons to find it daunting. It's, of course, the viewing figures are absolutely staggering worldwide. Then there's the other fact that those who go out to share this common danger, to accept this challenge, are mostly your friends. You know the horses well, and you have great respect and affection for them. And you hate the thought of them, you know, one or two of them not coming back. And this, you know, sadly is an element in the National. There have been horses killed, up to 4 in one race, 1954. That's why I so welcome the modification to entry. But I think it's a combination of factors that increase one's apprehension as you finally call them off. Once the tape goes up, as long as it does go up, and as long as we don't have a 1993 repeat, then I'm relatively relaxed. I'm happy when they're running.
What's this? This is where the
the very back of that, you've got the 1947 bill, which is rather fun. The account from my boarding house, my bed and breakfast place.
to Mr. Sullivan.
Mr. Sullivan, yes. I mean, it's been misspelt for at least 79 years of my life, but I mean, but not quite as extravagantly as that. The marvelous thing about the National is you know, there's always a story, always a romantic story. I mean, how could you have a more romantic story, really, than 1981? If that was fiction, people would say it was much too far-fetched.
And there, John Thorne is the first to congratulate this courageous man, one champion, who beat cancer. His horse, Aldeniti, survived 2 severe breakdowns and who've combined today to win chasing's greatest ever.
I heard a nice little story about Peter Bromley and yourself. Can you remember that one?
Oh, yes, that was when Peter used to more or less assist Clive and I in any area, you know. He'd take over the paddock or he'd take over commentary when necessary. I mean, you know, he was absolutely era. And in '58, Peter had an opportunity to go to sound, to go to radio, that is. And Dimmock said to him, "Oh, don't do that. I mean, for goodness sake, stay with us," because he said, "You're number 2 to Peter O'Sullivan, and you'll take over from him, and he's not going to go on forever." So we always joke about this, and I guess he would have been about the longest living understudy of all time.
Any other memories we haven't touched on, do you think?
It's all memories, the National. I'm very privileged, and very lucky, Jim, to have called so many outstanding races, to have been a part of the romance for so long.
Looking back on 50 years, has it gone quickly?
Very, very. Too quickly.
Well, he's a great man, Peter, there talking with Jim McGrath.